Hey guys, welcome back to Memo Mates. We got part 2 of the GMC SIERRA getting the Rough Country 7-inch suspension, the knuckle kit from Rough Country. This is the front suspension, the first part of the front suspension. It's a little bit slow to get going. There's a lot of parts removal, a lot of new parts being installed, some modifications. So I hope you like it. I hope you'll come back to us, watch some of our other stuff. So, like I said before, we got a lot of editing going on. We got to take out some of the cuss words, take out sometimes, we got a little bit of background music sometimes. So, hope you like it, and we'll see you at the end. Alright guys, there's a view of the finished product here.
Alright, so this is the front. Down the steering, rack and pinion.
There's the shocks.
So next we're going to take this bracket. Alright, so this is the front. We are going to start disassembling, and I forgot that I was recording. So all I did so far is we took off the speed sensor connector. It was originally mounted right here, clipped in, plugged into this plug right here, right there. Unplug it, take it off of this little clip, open up this little clip, unmount this 10mm bolt, unmount this 10mm bolt that mounts this bracket here, holds the speed sensor in place. From then it went here, from then it went to the connector. So we got that taken off. Took off these bolts from the brake caliper. We're going to proceed to take off the brake calipers, pads, the base for the brake caliper, which I forget what it's called. Take off the discs, loosen the entire knuckle right here. Take off the shocks. Once again, we're going to take off these ranchos and go with the reservoir coilovers, which is exactly what these are. We're going to change out these tie rod ends, change out these sway bar end links. We are also going to have to do some cutting for the location of the lower A-arms. And so let's get to it. We're going to hang them up here. Every now and then you'll get this part that snaps off of there. That shouldn't happen, but since they were pretty seized up in there, no grease here, so that's why they were kind of stuck. Brakes are always under pressure. So we're going to leave these pads here. We're just going to take off the full assembly. Turns out we had it in the wrong plates. It was the 18. But in my storage, it was in the wrong. He's on there pretty tight. We're gonna have to turn the wheel diameter a little bit, get us the force of the impact in there. Primero quedaron las blancas y luego me voy a hacer. Good old trust. Y dice, si nunca lo quitamos, pues sí. Nunca antes, pero esta vez sí. El Loctite. Es que supone que es una madrecita lo que le echan, pues. Hey. So what we're dealing with here is a real stubborn bolt. Got the pry bar on her, but she's still pretty tight. We're gonna work some WD-40 and we'll bring you back. Alright, so now we're gonna take off the axle nut. We can take off the disc, we're gonna take off the knuckle, remove the lower A-arm, remove the coilover shock, and obviously take off this nut from the upper arm. We already took off the tie rod end. No la quitamos por completo, para darle unos llegues. Ya con toda la vibración de lo que le hemos estado haciendo acá. O sea, ¿no puedo quitar la tuerca o no puedes sacarla?
No, ya le voy a mojar la tuerca, pero para botarla, pues.
Ya entendí. Y viera que la tuerca de acá de este lado. Unas partes la apretaron de más, esta madre está como...
Un paro físico de esta madre.
Ahí le voy. More precise tool. Ocupamos su nombre, ya ves. ¿La de abajo qué es? Déjame agarrar ahí. So we missed the part when we took off the knuckle. Nada, le digo aquí el video. Estoy haciendo el comentarismo. So we took off the knuckle. Now we're going to take off the drive shaft. Me pega. $15mm, 6 of them, right down in there. Right down in there, we got to take those 2 last ones off, and then we'll be good. Slide out the drive shaft. Move the shock bolt to the 15. Now we can lower this a little bit. Get us a little play in there. And we can... Tranquilo. Mira, ven. Bájale aquí. ¿Dónde? Aquí, para que no se me salga la punta del valero. No creo que se salga. Era 22. Ahí estaba en la raca. Next, we're going to take off the A-arm, lower control arm or A-arm, 22, crescent wrench, or bolt rounder. Call it right there. I don't know if you can see it. Colgar el chifre en otra parte. ¿Cómo?
La llanta que le dan.
Sí, están buenas. Entonces va a caer el swaybar, ¿verdad? Agárralo de aquel lado.
Sí, aquí lo agarro.
Ah, pero no compro de rash, ¿verdad?
¿Eh?
Ah, pero no compro llaves de rash.
Yo lo que tengo una de gas la 19, mira.
No, pero por la 19, ¿para qué si es 18?
No, pues, digo, esa la agarra, güey, yo la quité.
Sí. Ah, bueno, pues ya que échala. Aviéntemelo a los pies. Oh, nomás me estaba verdeando. ¿Pero el grande o el mediano?
¿Cuál va?
Alright, so off camera we cut these sections right here. The instructions tell you to mark them off 3 3/8 from this edge down here. Make a straight cut up and down. Same thing, passenger side. What that's going to do is it's going to allow us clearance for the cross member that's going to go here. Next thing we got to do is we got to take down the steering rack and pinion, take down the diff, unbolt it from here, other side, bring that down. Got to make a cut on one of the bases, and then mount some supports that go on. Entonces, ¿qué dije? 21, ¿ah?
21.
¿Nos bajamos?
Eso lo vas a hacer con el
Sí. En el tropa. ¿Y sale de acá? ¿No más?
No, yo estoy bajando.
A ver qué no. poquito pues también.
Mira,
¿Ya lo puedes cargar?
¿Está puesto?
No, es...
Mire,
Mire,
yo lo tengo.
no.
Yo lo tengo.
No.
Dale, ahí está.
Ok, tengo que ir por la... Tengo que agarrar esa madre, pero... Lo quise calar y no.
So the battery on the camera died, and I didn't notice until after we had put in the spacer brackets, which bring the diff down 2 inches, I believe. So here we are tightening up the brackets for those spacers, and then the mounting brackets hold the diff back up on top. You'll see us put that back in coming up here. So here we are tightening up the mounting brackets for the differential. We will need to cut one of the mounting tabs off the diff, because it'll now have 3 mounting points on it. So one of those just has to be cut off for clearance from the rack and pinion. So we'll do that off camera, and then we'll bring that bad boy back up and install it.
Alright guys, so we've got the diff back in. We've got the two cross members in here. Now some of the stuff I had to do off camera. Not everybody likes to be on camera, so some of the stuff we had to do off camera. So that's them there. Now some clearance cuts have to be made. Like you take, for example, on these mounts for the diff, you have to cut off the front ear because it would interfere with these connectors here for the rack and pinion. So you see it there, that's the rack and pinion connectors up here, and the other ear would be opposite this one. So we cut that one off, mount the diff on these bases here, and these just hang in there. You know, if I take off this bolt, it would just swing down. So there's not much science to those. Like I said, I apologize, but somebody that was here giving me a hand, some of this stuff is you know, needs an extra set of hands to put up there, like that diff. It's kind of, it's heavy, but it's more cumbersome than heavy, so you have to get 2 hands on it. Okay, and next we're gonna have the lower control arms, or A-arms, lower A-arms. There's some spacers gonna go in here on these, and then the drive shaft goes on those spacers. The upper A-arms, they get left in the same place. We got to put the coilovers in. We're gonna have to change out these tie rod ends, and there's a few little knickknacks. These brake lines, they have an adapting base that goes on there, brings them down a little bit more. Alright guys, so we made a little mistake here. I tightened up this hardware that puts in the cross members up onto the original A-arm or lower control arm pockets, and it says to use these new bolts up at the top and the original hardware down with the arms. So I don't think there's a difference. These bolts are probably higher quality than the factory ones to grab onto the arms, but just in case there's a good reason for it, we're going to change those out. So next, we got to put in the base here on the cross member, like so. That's going to support a support bushing on this base that grabs onto the differential right here at these 3 bolts. Booyah! And there she is. Got the bushing support, got the bracket mounted.
So there's the end of part 2, guys, the front suspension of the Sierra. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you had some fun watching the goofs, the wrenching and whatnot. So stick with us for part 3. It's coming right up. We got it in editing already. So we'll see you on the next one.